Mulholland Drive, often lauded as the pinnacle of David Lynch's cinematic career, continues to provoke endless debate among fans and critics alike, especially regarding its enigmatic, twist-laden narrative. Frequently cited as a challenging film, it has become known for its deeply layered complexity and famously baffling ending. Yet, if we take a closer look, the so-called plot twist may not be as obscure or impenetrable as it initially seems. In fact, David Lynch made it much clearer than viewers may realize, embedding his narrative with clues that align with the dream logic approach that's long defined his style. An accident turned masterpiece. Lynch didn't set out to create Mulholland Drive as a traditional feature film. The project was originally pitched as a TV pilot. Created as a potential series for ABC, it received critical acclaim for its unusual approach, yet was deemed too obscure and uncommercial by network executives. After being picked up by Studio Canal for completion, Lynch used the material to create a full-length feature. Despite the film's initial struggles at the box office, it left a lasting impact, turning Naomi Watts into a star and earning Lynch the title of Best Director at the 2001 Cannes Film Festival. The structure. Dream logic at play. At first glance, Mulholland Drive seems like a puzzle, constructed out of fragmented scenes and incomplete narratives. But when examined through the lens of dream logic, a staple in Lynch's body of work, much of the seeming chaos becomes purposeful. Lynch never leads the audience by the hand but instead encourages viewers to piece the story together themselves, interpreting symbols, recurring motifs, and the surreal nature of the events unfolding on screen. In a true Lynch fashion, characters frequently cross into each other's roles and identities, much like a dream where the mind jumps from scene to scene with little explanation. In Mulholland Drive, these jumps are crucial, as they serve to mirror the inversion between Hollywood's bright, fantastical exterior and the deep, troubling undercurrents lurking within the dreams of its characters. One such example is the switch between Betty Elms, Naomi Watts, the optimistic newcomer to Hollywood, and Diane Selwyn, her troubled counterpart living in despair. The twist, dream versus reality. The plot's great twist becomes clear when we take into account Lynch's decision to treat the film as a dreamscape. Betty, a wide-eyed Canadian actress, represents a Hollywood fantasy where dreams are realized easily. But as we enter the darker world of Diane, the dual identity narrative reveals itself. Diane's life is far less glamorous, steeped in disillusionment, and marked by jealousy, betrayal, and eventual tragedy. The film's surrealist nature becomes especially prominent as Betty's idealistic story arcs into a nightmare when she becomes Diane. The twist plays out when Betty and Rita, Laura Herring, the amnesiac woman she befriends, venture to the dark club Silencio, which is the metaphysical center of the narrative. The discovery of a blue box, which symbolizes the transition between these identities and realities, marks the dramatic shift between the carefree Hollywood dream and its nightmarish consequences. Diane's darkened path includes her downfall from a rising actress to someone filled with regret and hatred for her past lover, Camilla Rhodes, also played by Herring. What Lynch has constructed here is a clear representation of the fragility of both Hollywood and human aspiration. Diane's reality, that of a broken woman haunted by her failed relationships and perceived betrayals, bleeds into the world of Betty's hopeful, dreamlike ambitions. Lynch's clarity among the chaos. While critics often describe the film as inscrutable, Lynch offers moments of unexpected clarity, encouraging his audience to peel back the layers, much like a dream whose meaning emerges once it's understood. The disturbing imagery and nonlinear storytelling may seem obscure initially, but once the viewer understands that Betty's experiences are the product of a dream-turned-nightmare, the threads begin to tie together. The most striking moments reveal themselves when you view the surreal scenes as symbolic representations of themes such as ambition, jealousy, love, and the dark side of stardom. Hollywood itself is a dream machine, offering promises of fame and success, but at great personal and moral cost. The circular narrative of Mulholland Drive reflects the endless cycle of dreams both realized and shattered. Betty/Diane's dual identity. One of the strongest clues Lynch gives is through his use of dual characters and identities. As Betty seamlessly transitions into Diane, the shift in tone from fantasy to harsh reality underscores the fragile distinction between one's dreams and true desires. It's not just about who these women are, but what they represent. Betty's uninformed idealism versus Diane's painful awareness of the Hollywood machine's toll. Its twist, then, isn't a reveal of something unknown. It's an exploration of an identity shift, symbolizing both personal trauma and the breakdown of Betty's naive expectations. The shift mirrors Diane's descent from success to failure and horror, both self-inflicted and built upon the emotional wreckage she was left with in the pursuit of stardom. Conclusion: embracing Lynch's vision. Mulholland Drive is not a mystery wrapped in confusion. It's a meditation on the power and terror of Hollywood's allure. The twist about Diane's collapse into a hellish, self-inflicted reality is an integral part of Lynch's broader exploration of identity, fame, and loss. When approached through the dream logic lens, it becomes less a twist and more an inevitable unraveling. As Lynch's storytelling often suggests, there is always something deeper beneath the surface, and perhaps the key to understanding Mulholland Drive is not to search for solid answers, but to lean into its fluidity, the way one would embrace the logic of a dream. When we recognize Lynch's craft as one that unfolds like a lingering nightmarish vision, the film's haunting truths become undeniable, and what once seemed convoluted suddenly falls into place.